Mm. Okay, the oars need to be fixed there, don't they? What falls this one? Shall it be? Or water bottle. These need fixing as well. Green light. Go get new parts. I have smart splitters that can overflow the screws and the plates for like another reinforced iron plate line. How far off are we on unlocking smart splitters, actually? Okay, 5 more of those. Yeah, so materium that I'm short on. Rotor production line to course. If it has backup, I can like get away with not putting the overflow slitter in. Got me in there. 195, 195. Where did I get that number from? Ew. Yeah. Oh no, that one's already there. Which time, please? Hold. Mm, 49.4 degrees a minute. Or 250. 15.7 to 50%. I will buy in more Mark II built parts, which we use when making signs. Oh yay! Any signs done that I like. right. Minimal. I need to check the wiki. I think I've just copy pasted this signs there. Yeah, it's on the other ingots coming out. Oh, wait, scrap and solution things. Yeah, that's fine. Bacterium and iron. What bottle? Oh, hang on a second. I'll take this sign. All of these might come down. Even if ingots going to be used in anything outside of here. Maybe. That's like that. I think that floor's still below over there, so that could bring the fire duct level down to here. Yeah. Oh, that's steam copper sheets. That's just going down anyway. there. I have to remove that. Ethereum. Ingots. Oh, cliff. That'd be good later. Interior ingot put unassigned. The off I ingot. Probably gonna have to get these out at some point. Alright, it's going to get used, but you know, it'll do for now. I need to remove these. Suppose I could be overflowing the copper ingots instead of the screws and make stitched iron plate here for overflow. Staying your posture there. That might be ironing it down with like unassigned thingy, which would make that on the end there. How many canisters there? Yeah. Unassigned copper. Not sure which layout style I prefer, because on the left doesn't work. It's like 3 belts next to each other. It definitely doesn't work when there's 3 belts next to each other and they're stacked. So that's probably unassigned copper ingot as well. Oh, that's unassigned Caterium ingot. Then unassigned copper ingot. Oh shit. This water's not shallow enough, deep enough. Was it full health, wasn't it? Yeah, so one thing you might notice, hang on a second, where is the directory sign? Here we go. One thing you might notice with the layout of this tower from previous run-throughs is stuff's in the opposite order. The copper sheet was always there, but like aluminium was treated as an afterthought. Or is that to like kind of like snake around everything that was already there? So I've put the production items that are getting warehoused at the bottom, and I've put the ingots at the top in roughly the order that they're going to need to get used. Now, strictly speaking, copper ingot gets used first from, the bottom up, but aluminium ingots are used first from where they're produced. So there might be some snaking around going on for outside sheets, but aside from that, it's a little bit more preferable. And then Caterium ingots versus iron ingots was a case of, I think there's more places use Caterium ingots, and it would have felt weird to have a wider floor on top of a narrower floor. I was already on suit, wasn't I? That one I can break down if I can find its belt. Ah, here we go. In this case, it's not so much planning ahead for the future, it's just like planning ahead in general, because I'm wanting the factory layout to not be as much of a mess as it normally is. That level. Yeah. There is some planning ahead for the future because I'm putting in unassigned ingot lines like now, but like the general floor layout is just general planning. Like this is practically the same as what I built on previous runs. It's just a little bit more organised. I mean, I haven't even started the space elevator factory yet, but like that's its location. It's just not doing anything. I'm going to need to take some of these out because the ingot viaduct is going to be up there-ish. First one actually has an ingot out on. Yeah, here we go. Deuterium ingot. We come out this way. Oh, of course I've run out of things. Right, I don't have to actually put the viaducting support shit in now, but that on there. Huh. If that gets dropped down, like, 2, then that can just flip itself around. So the belts could come out along here, and yeah. This is where we need to get in. Thankfully, we should have a bin full. No, concrete while we're here. Yeah, this premise of putting like starter factories wherever is convenient rather than saying I am going to build my concrete factory where it's going to be for the rest of the game and then always go over there to get concrete. It's just so much easier. And I'm creating more mess for myself to clean up. Because there was this thing with my previous run through where I had like 2 or 3 starter concrete factories. I think I only ever cleaned one of them up, if that. But this is just like the concrete factory I set up because I realised, well, I'm going to be coming, like, going back and forth from here to, like, over there a lot when I've got sources of iron, copper and concrete here, so I may as well start a factory that does all the parts that I'm going to be using here. Now that I've got, like, the placeholder set up for the tower, like, for the ziggurat mostly, like, I don't need the iron plates and the concrete as much, but they're still handy to have. Like, theoretically, I could rebalance that resource allocation so there was more reinforced iron plate being produced, rather than it being treated as an afterthought. I think the smartphone modes are going to be so useful. Yep. The ingot snaking around there. Both ingots. Okay, strictly speaking, the ingot is that one, but they come out from the front when they're assigned, so that one will be going there. Okay, first thing up is the box, all the bauxite nonsense. I think we might be putting that on its own viaduct, because bauxite, coal, and quartz is all coming from over there. We can flip that around. So that went straight off. Get that lobsters out of the way. It's just the water for the luminous solution. These are all going in. No. Aluminium ingot for sheet. That is not for sheet, that is the aluminium ingot. And that one is copper ore. Copper ingots. So that'll be copper ore. Copper ingot. Right, everything's going on this one. Titanium ore. That's copper sheets. Copper ingot, 4 copper sheets. That's the fun thing, I've stopped using the speeds now. Like, I think if I was going to be getting into planning stuff, I'm going to end up like actually writing those planning tools that I like started and abandoned. Because the way I build is basically saying, oh, here's a bunch of recipes, and then we're going to assign a bunch of recipes to a location. So we're going to generally build like a pair of ziggurats, sometimes just one. That doesn't count as 4 ziggurats, that's just 2 pairs of ziggurats really close to each other. Just because I'm not doing trains anymore. And then the next thing to do is to like do the sorting, like the sort order. Oh, I can't see the signs anymore. Do the sort order of like what recipes go on which floor in that location. So it used to be, it was ordered by whichever recipe I did first. So it's like, oh, well, it's either going to be plate or iron rod on the bottom floor above the warehouse. And then it was going to be a case of whichever recipe has, like, requires the most train stations, and I ended up not using the train stations. And then it was based on how many like inputs outputs it's going to have. So like heavy modular frame, turbo motor kind of thing, those go on the bottom because it's got more belting to do. Whereas like iron rod, when it was over on the iron ziggurat, pretty much went nowhere once, aside from the warehouse, once all of the alts were unlocked. So you could like prioritize that higher in the ziggurat, or you could just move it over to the steel area, because that's where steel rods get made. And then for this one, now we've given up on the idea of trains altogether. We've got this particular location is kind of special case compared to like all these, because this is assigned as the ingot factory, but it's also producing aluminium parts and copper sheets. Now it's producing copper sheets because this being the ingot factory, it was always going to have water extractors in the base, and steam copper sheets is a thing, so may as well put it here because, you know, yeah, convenient. And then aluminium's getting dumped here because bauxite's right there. And because I'm not really expanding outside of the rocky desert when I'm doing these factories, there isn't really anywhere else for it to go. Like, I could build, like, literally on top of there, but then I'd have to, like, bring water up for aluminum solution, which wouldn't be so bad because there's, like, you know, water right down there. It would have to, like, snake around a bit. But there's a ziggurat here, so I might as well just, you know, put the items on top, and then this session I just put them lower down on the ziggurat because they're going in the warehouse. So basically what this ends up being is, instead of being a spreadsheeting issue, because I've got signs for keeping track of production, so yeah, like sort like doing the calculation in game kind of. So like that eliminates the need for the spreadsheet. So like the experience of using the spreadsheets is enough to eliminate using the spreadsheets for that. Then like the planning thing is more of a sorting algorithm issue, and that isn't something I need a spreadsheet for. It's actually more cumbersome because like reordering cells and not having formulas screw up. Formulae. Anyway, fines. So that's going to be iron. Water canisters down for deuterium. No, it isn't. Hang on a second, is it? Yes. And that's going to be water canisters down for iron ingots. So what's that one? I think I've lost track of what that one is. I think it's aluminium ingots for something. Oh, there it is. Aluminium ingots for casing. Okay, in terms of doing a planning tool, there's like one phase which like needs to be possibly needs to be a separate tool or an integrated part of the same tool, which is figuring out what to put in the same, like what recipe to put where. I think one of the reasons why I abandoned doing the planning tool previously was realizing that building it on the assumption that an item is only going to be produced in one place and nowhere else is kind of bad. Like, for example, like wire is going to be produced in the wire floor, but sometimes it's convenient to just ship ingots somewhere else and then produce wire like on site rather than shipping the wire from the wire floor. Especially if like now that I'm more comfortable using like iron wire, like if there's no copper nearby, rather than shipping copper ingots, I could be shipping just iron ingots and producing like iron wire just because it's close by. And then, like, the thing with quick wire, like, that's less of an issue for me because, like, the copper and the copper wire and the Ethereum wire both get produced like right next to each other. But like the principle does like stand that. Yeah, quick wire stator. There's an example. I could be shipping wire from like there to there for quick wire stator, well, for wire stator, and then from there to there for quick wire stator. Or I could just have a viaduct line carrying copper ingots to produce wire on site for stator. And then when I unlock quick wire stator, just dismantle like the input side a little bit and reroute it for continuing ingots. So it's a combination of like what recipe goes where, and also like what input comes from where that needs to be calculated as one thing. But if in terms of like sorting recipes by algorithmic priority, if you just make a bunch of columns representing factories, you can just apply the algorithm to those factories and then just do like the algorithmic creating of those factories later. What's this next one down? This one. Empty canisters to iron ingots. Yep. I think that one's the one casing comes down on. Yeah. Why does casing have two inputs? Oh, for copper ingots, right. What, that one over there that you got? Or do you mean like the one on the big giant mountain? Well, you'll be looking forward to update 8 then. Of the explodable fart. Yeah, yeah. I don't find like the fart rocks round the side to be so much of a problem, but I remember the top of that rocky outcrop being harder in previous updates. I can't quite remember why. Oh, it's only like the natural roads that are changing in Rocky Desert, really. Like, I'm not really going to be impacted all that much, unless like widening the road, like moves some trees, and then moved rather than being like nudged out the way, which like might impact some of these viaduct supports. Alright, yeah. Eventually I am going to have to, like, do a playthrough where I build on the ground, and I'm not looking forward to it. It's like, can I build on the, like, can I build factories on the ground and, still do, like, the no chainsaw, no, plant biomass? Because, yeah. Like, those ziggurats there would have to be built, like, on the ground here. And then I'd have to be putting, like, atrium spaces in to account for trees in the middle of the factories. Which I've done before. It's not that bad, but building everything above the trees is so much easier. Well, I suppose that, like, might be a reason to move to the Dune Desert, yeah. Oh, well, that's not strictly true, because there are oases in Dune Desert, but yeah, it is known for its wide expanses of sand. Now we need more parts again. I'll do the signage before I go for parts. Trying to make grappling first. These two. That is water transport. Aluminium ingots. Oh. Yeah, the whole thing with the no chainsaw run and no plant biomass run, I think it's like compatible with the idea of blowing up trees with obelisks. It's just that until update 8 swings around, I'm not really going to have that much need for Nobelisks, because Fat Rocks I can work around without the gas mask by just munching on a crap ton of nuts. But it's going to be a lot easier to do with Nobelisks, and it's not all that often that I need to blow apart the cracked rocks. I mean, like, I could, but it's a case of I don't need to, because, like, I'm not exploring that much that I want to go into caves all the time. So, yeah, aluminium ingot down for them. Canister. This is copper ingot. Well, partly because I haven't ever unlocked Mark III miners. Well, that's not strictly true. I might have unlocked Mark III miners because I've never built turbo motors to, like, required to build them. But yeah, like there are like resource runs where like I unlock the Mark II miners and I go around upgrading the miners, then rebelting the supply lines. Well, that'll be Tyrium. What is that one? So I don't understand. Well, that can't be an unassigned ingot because that's, you know, no more ingots down here. Oh, it's an assigned ingot. And that would be iron ore going up. Would be empty canisters coming down, as would that one. But a more immediate need would be placing signs down, but the longer I leave it, the more Mark II parts I'm going to put together. And, well, do as much of that until I run out of parts for that. This is one of the things with like those production lines. With the whole planning ahead principle, I could actually be building the manifold to produce turbo motors, so that when I come to actually put the turbo motor manifold in, like once I've actually unlocked the recipe, there'll be like a huge influx of parts. It'll just be like, going all the way down the belt at full speed rather than at whatever the production level is. Like if I'm using Mark III belts for supply runs, and the consumption across like 3 manifolds is only like 90 unit a minute, having a Mark III belt that's like completely backed up, it's like just unloading into a manifold, it's going to like saturate the manifolds a lot quicker than if I was doing them sort of just as needed. It also means that planning ahead with manifolding means a lot less reclocking of manifolds, and a lot less running into that annoyance with manifolding where pasting a reclocked recipe onto a machine that already has that recipe results in the contents of that machine getting dumped to inventory if your inventory is full and getting dumped onto the ground, often in a place that's not convenient. That signage is done. Second. That's iPad sheets, so that's going to have 2 belts going in. And 2 iPad sheet outputs. Well, the copper ingot one is unassigned. They're all the way up there, so That's that really should be planned ahead for. Yeah, let's go plan ahead for that shit. That one. Which one's copper sheets? Oh, this one. Right. Maybe constructor initially, not refinery. Yeah, that's the. Do we plan ahead and reserve this one for the outside casing alt or not? Feels a bit weird. Copper ingot one over from thingy is now reserved for other thingy. One over from sheets is now reserved for other sheets. The route down because if that's the iron ingot canister line. In the wrong place again. So, that was called. It was facing the wrong damn direction. Why am I copying that from there? Just copy that from there. Whee! Yeah, it shouldn't be that much of a hassle to bring copper ingots into casing. Because it would just, like, it might be, like, all the way out there, but it would just be going bloop, 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 bloop. Now, one reason why I might want to reserve, like, that ingot lane for casing is specifically because of not wanting to have like a blank wall going all the way out there if the manifold isn't going to be, like, that wide. Yeah, I think I might end up doing that. Like, viaducting for that is going to be a piece of piss, because, like, there's no wall supports to handle it. There's just, like, there'll be a viaduct spur coming out the length, oh, not the length, the breadth of the building. Yeah, let's do that plan. This is like one of those situations where the limited foreknowledge principle gets like violated a bit. Because we're planning ahead for alts that we don't have. Let's go down here. There we are. One of the other things I'm doing with it this time round, with like the planning ahead stage, is actually putting in all the damn signs. Just the previous playthrough, like I put in like the wall signs once I, decided what was coming out the way, but I hadn't put all of the signs on these. So I would be coming back and like to the ziggurat saying like, oh, I need some of that resource over here. Oh crap, I don't have any signs on this entire ziggurat. Let's go put the signs on and then forget what the hell I came over for. Is this the casing floor? Yes. Building reverse pyramids would require having fixed size production floors. Whereas the ziggurats are like open back, so they can just expand and like near indefinitely. I'm not quite ready for that level of constrained building. Check rid of the casing floor, isn't it? So there's no hole. Yeah. even though this belt line is going to be for an alt, it's going to. Oh, hang on a second. That needs to go down a notch. So yeah, even though this is going to be for an alt, like it's going to be all ready and waiting for resources. Yeah. Floors gone. Next floor down. Bring it to the feet comes down all the way up here. Up the default recipe. It's just aluminium, that's right. What am I using sheets in? Heat sinks. But heat sinks is a part that could be produced over here because it's built exclusively with parts that are over here. That would have required planning it. Yeah. If I'd paid attention to heat sinks, I would have had an extra production floor in here. Now, the thing is, I could add an extra production floor in here if I wanted to. Like, all I'd have to do is go into skim and then like raise the entire like the top floors like 40 meters. So it's like, do I want to be doing that? Or do I want to be like shipping both sets of parts out? I mean, in terms of item density, it would be better to be shipping heat sinks out from here rather than sticking them somewhere else. But suppose, like, if I need it that badly, I could be putting like a floor on top, or I could be putting like a floor in the front. Like, there is scope for putting some production floors to the side, even. Like, if they're not that big, it's just, you know, plastic fire ducts reserved for that space. So, I'll just have to make a mental note that if I do end up doing V20B or like V21, like that, to remember that heat sinks go here. I've never built back. Like, I think I might have built heat sinks once, so like, that's not so much of an issue. But batteries, I've never built. Same thing for drones, but drones aren't automatically produced. That's like built from warehouse parts. So yeah, should have planned ahead for that. See, that's where the spreadsheet would have come in handy. I would have realised, like, oh, well, like, I would have gone through every single recipe and figured out where everything's going, and then blah, 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 blah. Not so much of an issue. Yeah. Where's heatsink actually used, though? That's the thing. It's used as part of cooling system, and encased plutonium cell and a radio control unit on. So I could be building heat sinks closer to where they're being consumed rather than putting them over here. But just in terms of pure item density issues, I should be building them over here. Yeah, that was like the last thing on the list there. Heatsink, high-speed connector, and quartz crystal. I forget where I build radio control units. Like, I either build them in the quartz, like in the mineral ziggurat, or I build them in like the computer, like whichever ziggurat the computers are in, for like supercomputer thingies, I think. What is it radio control units are in that I use them for? Yeah, so they used in turbo motors, so they probably would have been, you know, assigned for over there. But yeah, I have slightly shot myself in the foot by not planning for heatsink production. So now it's a cost-benefit analysis of fucking around in scheme. Actually, yeah. So it's not just that it would need to be shoved up like 40 meters. It would need to be shoved west 8 meters and south 8 meters. If it was going to go anywhere, it would probably end up going like above, either above or below copper sheet. I think. Let's see which ones. Heatsink. Yeah, so there's aluminium casing alt, but the default recipe is alclad sheets, which means I would probably be putting it under here, because then it would be taking sheets from above and copper sheets from below, which would mean if I was going to be doing any shit, it would be for me. So yeah, I think it's worth the hassle if I do that. So let's just prepare for it by disconnecting that, and we could leave that one in. We want to disconnect the conveyor belt from below. Yeah, all of that's going to need to be redone. So, slight whoopsie there. So, let's save that. And pop open scheme. the altitude says 3,483. That's 3,085. Oh yeah, that's that belt, right. I was standing here. It says altitude 1 meter, that can't be right. Meters. So if I set the selection floor to 7,200. Where is that option again? Ah, there it is. Oh, filter altitudes, yeah. So it's I don't have to put the raw units in. Okay. Now if I select all of that, selected 2,698 items. There's a difference between bug and unexpected behavior. Or undefined behavior. So it might just be inheriting whatever behavior was put into mergers and splitters where they would helpfully alternate for whatever reason. But it's like not so much a bug as in like it's not meant to be doing that at all. So I think it's doing it intentionally, but no one knows why. Right. Offset selected items position. Want to do plus 40 meters. And then minus 8 meters in either direction. Now if I download this, I'm going to load it. think I might have moved something I shouldn't have. I don't think I intended to move the floor I was standing on. Actually, oh, right, no. It's not that I moved the floor I was standing on, I moved myself. And, like, the top layer of the building there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. I should have skim selected these as well. But no, that's too much of a faff. I'm not going to be doing, like, the leaping nonsense this time. Oh no. Who needs ladders? It would be a lot easier to just remove these wall segments and then do a full zoop than it would be to try and limit yourself to placing just 9 of them. Hmm. Did I miscalculate? Do you believe I miscalculated? I swear I moved them like 8 meters south. That seems like it needs to come another 16 meters south. Right. Don't need to. Yeah. So one option I could do is I could just like move what I've got selected now, de-download it, and then like rebuild this shit. It's going to be a lot easier to make sure I've done it right if I wash, rinse, repeat. All I have to just remember is to set the filter altitude to 68 meters. And we have to reselect it. 2,805. Meters now. Download it. I just moved this 16 meters south. Why isn't it 16 meters south? Did I load the wrong bloody save file? Let's try that again. Refresh. Save file in. Filter altitude 68 meters. Oh, let's move it north. There we go. Yeah, let's move it north. Yeah. Hang on a second. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and that's like Anther, give some feedback for Anther. On Discord. There we go. With doodle on that screenshot. Be nice if I could write, like, if I could be asked to plug my damn graphics tablet in, I wouldn't have this problem. But I'm trying to write an O with my mouse, so it's coming out like a 6. File. Why has that not worked? Like that literally hasn't moved. Okay. Let's load that again. Right. I'm going to open a new tab. That's right, we've calculated it. And upload that save file. Now, if it has actually changed shit, the position will be reflected different on the map. Yeah, that hasn't changed it. So, let's try that again. I want to add 4,000, not 4,000, 16,000. So that'll be 1,017. 1,017, 1,700. Train transport and stuff. Well, that's wrong. Is this units or not? Filter altitude, 68 meters. Move selected item position. That does not appear to have changed anything. I'm spending more time trying to get the satisfactory calculator to do what I want. I've spent thinking about whether or not I want it to do that. There we go. But I did so I put 170 meters on, 116 meters on. I put too many bloody meters on. That's what I'm saying. Hey. Back to focusing on Twitch. I've still not gotten around to using the blueprint designer. Was it the fact that you were doing it in the blueprint designer that was the issue, or was it more just trying to figure out something to lay out for like a blueprintable design? See the fucking. It's not moving at all. What the hell? Like, what the hell is up with Skim not moving the damn factory floor? Okay, let's do something stupid, okay? Let's just, like, select the entire damn thing and move it 400 meters south, right? Offset items position. Well, that's not 400 meters, but it's a stupidly large number. So it's like putting it all the way down there. It ain't fucking moved it. Oh wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. I think it has worked. I'm just standing in the wrong... I'm moving myself as well. And I'm moving the wrong shit. Hmm. Do not blame the tool, blame the user. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, if you have any issues with the blueprint designer, would it be a case of... yeah, I need, like... let's see. In order to fix this, what do I need to do? I need to raise the damn thing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 4, 24. So that's going to be a selection filter of 68 plus 24, so 92. I was doing the selection filter based on where I was standing on the previous floor, not where I was standing this time round. Oh, the thing where they're not quite lined up. Yeah. Well, can't you, like... Are you able to connect belts from inside the blueprint designer to outside the blueprint designer? Or does it not let you do that? Well, offset items position. Fingers crossed this works. Just like I need to, like, I should have been off like 40 minutes ago so I could put my order for lunch in. Oh shit. I need to remember to not select me self when I do this shit. I mean, thankfully everything hostile in this like direction that can, well, everything hostile in this direction that can reach me won't be spawning. Like, I think the respawn radius must have like changed. It was in like update 5 or update 6. Must have impacted those crab hatches, because I don't feel like the miners and stuff over there should be impacting that, and those cables and power poles alone shouldn't be stopping these from respawning. Out there. On earth I hadn't like taken damage on. Like I would have to like rewind the blooming stream to find out, but I feel like I wasn't Like, I was at full health, so... What the hell? Three, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5, 6, yep. Three, 4, 5, 1, 6. Oh, I'm sure iron plates, right? Is there some shit I can delete? Yeah. Iron on the side. Keep them. Two in, one out. One resource coming up. 2, 3, 4. And one coming down. And there's the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Unknown number of sheep. We know the number of sheets because it's the warehouse line. It'll be whichever recipe that's being used, but I'm not producing them right now. I think it's constructor. I know it'll be assembler. Casing. Oh shit. Oh, that'll have been why I didn't have full health from when I fell off there. Yeah. That makes sense now. This is the problem with me brain running on autopilot. I forget that I dismantled those foundation tiles so I could fill the wall in. There we go. Which bloody floor is this? This arcade sheets. Yeah. Let's find the inputs for arcade sheets. So that'll be here. Here. That one's going to be looping around, isn't it? No, it's going to be that's the one at the back. Yeah. One at the left back and the one in the middle. Of course. I mean, we can do that. And that. What's this one? Oh, right. Casing down the warehouse. One water bottle up. We'll make it the aluminium inks. Then of the canisters down. Aluminium ingot. That will be canister down for them. Bacterium ore up. What's that one? Oh. Copper ingots to sheet. Keep forgetting about that. That'll be iron ore up. One of those isn't coming down, right? Thingy for heatsink. That's not casing. That's maybe heatsink. Yeah, which thing we got on? Oh, right here. Cool. I think what I should do, because I'm overdue for like ordering lunch, never mind having it, is get these placed. Pick the shine placeholders. Oh yeah, placeholders. Yeah, I don't have the parts for it, so that's a good place to save. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break from lunch. After lunch, regardless of whether I have a nap, I should be streaming Zelda, but it's a case of whether or not this is going to be annoying me, it being unfinished. Like, I could just be like muting the stream, placing the order, and then coming back, but I'd rather be like not in a rush in case traffic from the restaurant's like good and it arrives earlier than expected. Sure. Yeah, that's going to be off now. Thanks for joining. Goodbye.